because in that prison camp he was beaten and tortured so many times. So he just completely forgot how to look into human eyes again. The first thing, as a North Korean, if your house burns down, the first thing you need to protect, you must protect for your family's sake, is the portraits of your leaders. Hi everybody! Today I am going to talk about the infamous North Korea's prison camp. So when we talk about North Korea's prison camps, there are three different types. So number one, this one is called the Dalyondae, just a labor. We just call labor camp, let's say that. So labor camp is usually somewhere between 6 months till 2 years. In this 2-year period, this is usually very minor crimes. It is you go there, if you are a man or like woman who is you got a party membership, the Communist Party membership, even if you go to this labor camp, you don't lose your membership. So you are still human, and they still kind of think you are not the worst criminal in the world. Usually you can get out of the camp and you can rebound. The second camp, that is where my father went, that is prison camp. Here, if you go to this, it's called Gyohwaso. In this Gyohwaso, in this camp, if you go, you lose your membership, the party membership. So basically, you become a subhuman. And as an inmate in the prison, when the guards like looking at you, you should not look at their eyes, because they are humans and you are not. So they kick you, they hit you if you look into their eyes. And this is the part it broke my heart the most, was when my father came out from this prison camp for sick leave. He could not look at anyone's eyes, even including my eyes, because in that prison camp he was beaten and tortured so many times. So he just completely forgot how to look into human eyes again. It completely destroyed his soul. The essence of my father were gone when he came out from this prison camp. Only his physical body came, but his inside, the spirit left him. This is how the prison camp is so brutal. There is no way you can be who you are. In these prison camps, you get minimum of food, and you work until your death. A lot of people die, you don't make it out, and a lot of people even make it out. Once they come out, they don't live that long after the prison camp. You die. So these camps are everywhere in North Korea, and this labor camp called Dalyondae and prison camp Gyohwaso, they built in everywhere, every region. So if you commit such a minor thing, you would go either Dalyondae, the labor camp, or prison camp. The third one, that is what you all heard, is concentration camp. The concentration camp, the nature is completely different. This camp is for the very most heavy crime, the political prisoners. So when I say political prisoners, it's not like, it can be sometimes they were started to trying to revolution, but the prisoners that we're talking about sometimes is like a man who was, in North Korea we don't have, like, a lot of times have those fancy cigarettes made, the whole thing inside. You have to cut those leaves, dry them. I remember my uncles doing that, and they have this newspaper, they get some like tiny piece of the paper out, and you pull those leaves, and then you fold it, and then you smoke it. And a man did not know the page that he ripped and folded and smoked had a photo of the leader, because he just saw the backside of it, and that was his crime. And the crimes that you go to concentration camp, when your house is burning, the first thing you run is not for your life, or you hold your children or your wife or your parents. The first thing, as a North Korean, if your house burns down, the first thing you need to protect, you must protect for your family's sake, is the portraits of their leaders. And when a house burns down, the authority comes and see that the first thing is not even like who's alive, are you guys okay? Did you say portraits? If you didn't, not only you get punished, all your 3 generations of family get punished with you. There are a few defectors who escaped out of this prison camp. When they sent to prison camp, they don't even tell you like this concentration camp. They don't even tell you what you have done wrong. And like one of them, they just did not know. One day, car came and took them, father and son and wife, everybody's in the car, and took them to the concentration camp. And he just woke up and did not know why he was there. He couldn't even ask. Later, many days later, he learned sometime his grandpa, during the many years before, escaped to South Korea. So he didn't even know that that grandpa was like existed, and that's how he was, sent to prison, concentration camp. And the other times about the, some of you, if you read the book called Escape from Camp 14 by Shin Dong-hyuk, his case, he was born inside the camp. And for these inmates, they don't think they are even worthy of teaching them the dear leader or propaganda. They just merely teach them like few numbers so they can be in the laborer, and they can just do work they do, and just they hope they just die. It's not like it's not they keep them to educate them and send them back to society. If you go there, it's permanent. Once they are in a camp, they make you to report to your parents, your sons, your friends, so you can get extra food. So if you hear someone trying to escape from the camp and you report on them, you get an extra food. And that's how they're turning inmates on each other. They are so hungry in those camps. If they find a rat, it's their birthday, rat is even so hard to find. They eat cockroaches, they eat also all kinds of bugs and insects. And there were times like I heard they're literally eating some grain animals feces. They just pick that out and they just eat it. That's how this inmates in North Korea in this 21st century survives. The United Nations estimates there are over 120,000 inmates in these camps. They are everywhere, but the thing is like that's the minimum, and anyone in North Korea can go to those camps. So this like concentration camp is like that is the biggest thing that we fear as a North Korean. But when my father went to prison camp, it was enough to destroy our family and him. And when my mom went to those labor camp, though for the shorter version, I visited one day with my sister. I was just maybe over 10 years old. I was so hungry, and my sister and I was walking to find my mom where she was working. We walking, and I remember I was so hungry, so I saw like this field where they had this radish, and I stole one of them, put it in my belly, and just ran. They would not find me. And my sister and I was sharing that radish because our stomach was so empty. That radish carried us, it made us nauseous and so burn inside. And once we reached to my mom, I saw the conditions, how they were working. They were not even washing their face. They were like animals. All their clothes, everything got lice in it. They, of course, they don't have clean water. But the thing is, like, if they don't have those camps, that is like a fear that regime uses to control people and make us be obedient 100% of what they are demanding of us. So I think it is very important for us to know that this this kind of camps that's still going on in this 21st century, the North Koreans facing. But the last point that I want to make is that, even outside North Korea and these different camps, the whole country is sealed with wire fences. The whole country. As I said before, that I lived in a border town of North Korea, and when we were going to the river, we had to, there were times we could go. The guards would not even let us go to river freely. Everything is sealed, and whole country is a concentration camp. But within that big camp, there is worse camps. So I think, I am so honored and grateful for this opportunity to share about what's happening to North Koreans, and please let me know what you want to see for the next video.